Welcome back to Steins Gate. We left things with Okarin finally getting the information he needed out of Moeka, and it really took a lot to get it. So I think he's going to be sending that D-mail and seeing if he can get his hands on the IBN 5100. I am still not sure how successful he's going to be at this, but let's just get started and see. I take Moeka's phone out of my pocket. I'm using your phone. Moeka slowly gets up. She wipes her tears and fixes her hair and clothes. Her wavy hair obscures her face from this angle, so I can't make out her expression. She doesn't react to what I said. Even though I'm no longer restraining her, she doesn't try to attack me and take back her phone. I open Moeka's mailbox and search for the D-mail. It takes about 3 minutes, but I finally find it. 3 mails from Moeka's own phone, each 12 characters long, sent on August 4th and received on July the 31st. Retro PC's at Yanabayashi Shrine. Just as I suspected, Moeka changed her D-mail in the few seconds I had my back turned. All I need to do now is send the cancellation mail. You at the lab? Don't worry me like that, idiot. What, were you worried about me? I mean, you set off an obvious death flag. I'm surprised you're still alive. Where are you now? I'm standing by at the lab. Set up the machine. I'm sending another D-mail. Destination? July 31st, 11 a.m. 11 a.m. on the 31st. While Karisu calculates the hours, I type the mail. Do not go, not at shrine, it's a trap. Oh, I just read it, but it says do not go, not at shrine, it's a trap. I address the mail to the phone wave, name subject to change. Okay, all set. Alright, activated. Activated. I press the send button. The mail starts sending. Reading Steiner should activate, this time for sure. I brace myself for the incoming vertigo. Well? Nothing. Why won't it change? Another mistake?
No,
there's no way. I know what Moeka's message said. This D-mail should have cancelled it. Why isn't it working? What the hell's wrong this time? What did the first D-mail say?
IBN 5100があると知らせるものだ。今のメールでそれは罠だと否定したんだが。
That the IBN 5100 was at Yanabayashi Shrine. I tried to cancel it by telling her it's a trap, but it didn't work. I mean, if she's that desperate for the IBN 5100, even knowing it's a trap might not have been enough to put her off going to get it. So, I think if I were him, I would send a text saying it was somewhere else. I'll try to phrase it differently. Wait, we went through this with the Lotto 6 experiment, remember? The Lotto 6 experiment. I sent myself the winning numbers, but the past me didn't buy the ticket. Instead, he gave the winning numbers to Lukaku.
D メールを読んだ人間がその通りに行動するかどうかは個人の資質に影響される。
The person who reads the D-mail chooses whether or not to act accordingly.
桐生って人は神社に IBN5100 があると知らされた。直後にそれを否定するメールが来ても構わず神社へ行ったという推測が導ける。
Kiryu learned that the IBN 5100 was at the shrine. Though the cancellation mail came right afterward, I guess she ignored it and went anyway.
否定するメールを信じなかったか、あるいはクソ真面目に否定されても念のために調べてみたかということか。
Maybe she didn't believe the cancellation mail. Or maybe she was so diligent she decided to check it out even when told not to. I glance at Moeka. She's still hanging her head, but her tears have run dry. I wonder if she's listening.
厄介ね。神社に調べに行くことにリスクが発生すると伝えても聞いてくれなかったっていうことだから。
Damn. Even when told it was too risky to go to the shrine, she went anyway.
より強制力の強い文面にするしかない。神社に行くのを禁止させるぐらいの。
We need a more persuasive message, something that will prevent her from going to the shrine.
どうやって？
Like what? That's the problem. Is it possible to persuade her with just 36 bytes of text? Or should we consider other possibilities?
例えば、7月30日のお礼と D メールを送り、先に IBN5100 を回収させるという方法は？
What if I sent a D-mail to myself on July 30th? Could I beat her to the IBN 5100?
その日のあんたは IBN5100 に興味があったのか？
Were you even interested in the IBN 5100 then? When did I stop caring about the IBN 5100? I can't remember. Fine, that's out. So how do I convince Moeka to listen? At that moment, an electric shock runs through my brain. Could he not send it before the last text? So that she would get one first saying, like, ignore my next message, it's a trap or something. 2 initials. Oh yeah, he's gonna be like, it's from FB.
何？
What?
萌香の上司、依存の対象。FB からのメールなら無条件で信じるはず。
Moeka's handler. She's obsessed with FB. If the mail comes from FB, she'll do whatever it says.
その FB とかいう人の携帯持ってるの？
Do you have FB's phone?
いいよ。会ったことさえない。どこにいるかもわからない。
No. They haven't even met. We don't know where FB is.
話にならない。
Then there's nothing we can do.
少し時間をくれ。
Give me a little time.
また待たせるのか？私はずっとラボに泊まり込んでるからいいけど。
Gonna make me wait again? Well, I've been pulling all-nighters recently, so whatever.
あんまり無茶しないでね。
Just don't do anything stupid, okay? So even after prying answers out of Moeka, there's still more work to be done. I guess we're going for FB now, going to try and find who she is? Fate really seems to love getting in my way. Alright. To break out of this world line, I need FB's identity and location. I call Moeka's name. When she finally looks up, I drop her phone onto her lap. She accepts it with a confused expression.
FB を探すことになった。
Looks like we're searching for FB now. Moeka grips her phone, but she doesn't look at the screen. I sigh deeply. I need to get as much information on FB out of her as I can.
お前はどういう経緯でラウンダーに？
How exactly did you become a rounder? Honestly, I couldn't care less. I hate having to stand here and talk with the woman who killed Mayuri. Hugging her phone to her chest, Moeka retrieves her glasses and puts them back on.
4年前死のうとしてた。
4 years ago, I tried to kill myself. Her voice is a barely audible whisper, For a moment, I'm surprised she's not talking by mail.
何の希望も持てなくて、何もかもが嫌になって。
I had no hope. I wanted to get away from everything.
原因は
Why?
特にこれっていうのは
No big reason. Her expression is blank, lifeless, like always. But behind her glasses, her eyes are red from crying. They are the only trace of emotion on her doll-like face.
でも小さなことがたくさん積み重なって
Little things. Lots of little things piled up.
もともとこんな性格だし
I've always been like this.
家族は
And your family? Moeka shakes her head a little. She has none, I guess. I don't bother asking whether she ever had parents. It doesn't really matter.
自分の部屋で睡眠薬大量に飲んで
I locked myself in my room and overdosed on sleeping pills.
でも死ぬのを失敗して
But I didn't die.
そこにメールが
Afterwards, I got a mail.
ラウンダー募集って個人宛てじゃなくて一斉送信の
Recruiting rounders, it said. It was sent to hundreds of people, not just me. Isn't that spam? Do the rounders really recruit like that?
私はどうでもよくなってた。だから気づいたら返信してた。
Nothing mattered anymore. So on a whim, I replied.
そしたら連絡が来たの。FB から。
And then FB contacted me.
それからずっと FB の指示に従ってた。
Ever since, I've followed FB's orders.
ずっとこの秋葉に
Were you always stationed in Akiba? Moeka shakes her head.
3ヶ月前まで名古屋、その前は横浜、その前は
Until 3 months ago, I was in Nagoya. Before that, Yokohama. Before that... The Rounder's chief duty is to acquire IBN 5100s. I guess they had her travelling all over Japan, digging up info on retro PCs.
これまでに IBN5100 をいくつ見つけた
How many IBN 5100s have you found so far?
1台も
Not even one. No results? It sounds like CERN is spending a lot of effort for not much return. I sighed deeply once again.
お前はこの後どうするつもりだただ絶望に打ちひしがれて予定通り自殺するか
So what now? Are you going to sit here, wallowing in despair, until you kill yourself 4 days from now?
抗おうとは思わないのか
Or do you want to rebel against fate?
抗う
Rebel? Even as I ask the question, I know that for her, rebellion is impossible. This world line has already approved her death. She's in the same situation as Mayuri. No matter what she does, she will die. I know that, and yet I ask the question.
FB はお前を利用し見捨てたそれを認めろその上で FB に対してどうしたいと考えているんだ
FB used you and threw you away. Accept it, and then ask yourself what you're going to do about it. Moeka looks down.
利用されていたとしても
Even if FB did use me,
私の居場所そこしかなかったから。
That was the only place I belonged.
初めてだった。生きてきた中で自分が必要とされたこと。
That was the first time in my entire life that I was needed.
FB が居場所を与えてくれたの。私に。
FB gave me purpose.
その居場所を守るためなら生きがいを与えてくれた FB を守るためなら。
To protect that purpose. To protect FB.
何だってする。
I would do anything.
お前は救いようのないバカだ。
You're beyond hope. I stand up.
だったら依存したまま死んでいけ。お前の死は確定している。
Drown in your dependence for all I care. Your death has already been decided.
だが俺は世界の思い通りになっていいとは思わない。だから徹底的に抗う。
But I won't let fate have its way. I'm rebelling to the end. No matter what, I will save my Yuri. Just a little bit more. I can't give up now. It's midnight, and Akiba is practically empty. The silence is eerie. There's no sign of anyone near the coin locker. Considering the IBN 5100's size, it couldn't fit in the regular size lockers. She must have put it in one of the 3 large lockers on the right.
使用中。
The light's on. The bottom locker is still in use. Is the IBN 5100 inside? My heart starts pounding in my chest. I feel my face grow hot with excitement. We've been apart for far too long, my partner, but now only a thin locker door separates us. Is this what love feels like?
自重しよう。
Let's not go crazy. I force myself to consider the situation calmly. Is the IBN 5100 really inside? I want to check right this instant. I can't believe I forgot to ask Moeka which locker she used. Should I get a crowbar or something to pry the locker open? If the IBN 5100 really is inside and I steal it, what will happen to the world line? I have yet to cancel all of the D-mails, which I thought was the only way to restore the original world line. But now the IBN 5100's so close. Why can't I just reach out and take it? How long ago did she take the IBN 5100 to the locker? Like, I would have just thought, if having this IBN 5100 was so important to the Rounders and to CERN, they would have picked it up as soon as possible. Like, hasn't it been a while since she stole it? It's been like a week at least, right? I mean, I doubt it's in there. Or I doubt he'll be able to get to it in there. I know how to cancel Moeka's D-mail, so I can always do that if this doesn't work. Let's try it, just to make sure. First, I make a quick visit to the lab. Ignoring the complaints of the lab mems, who stayed awake in the lab all night, I retrieve a makeshift crowbar from the development room. Then I return to the lockers and thrust the pointed tip of the crowbar into the crack of the door. Just as I begin to pry, a shrill siren shatters the night. I look up to see the red lights of a patrol car coming this way. Their timing couldn't be worse. The police release me after about 30 minutes of scolding. I return to the coin locker and try to pry it open again. Immediately, another patrol car appears. This time they take me to the police station. I'm stuck in an interrogation room all night, getting preached to by policemen. I conclude that this is another effect of attractor field convergence. No matter what I do, I cannot obtain an IBN 5100 on this world line. That is what fate has decreed. I get the police to call my father, and they finally release me. They didn't go so far as to arrest me, but the policeman, as well as my father, scold me harshly. I act apologetic, but in actuality their words fall on deaf ears. After my father goes home, I head straight to Moeka's apartment. I tried calling her. I took the opportunity to memorize her phone number yesterday, but she wouldn't pick up at all. Before I get there, I send a mail to Daru asking him to check if the coin locker is still occupied. The door to Moeka's apartment is unlocked. I mean, can she even close it properly? I find Moeka hugging her knees in the corner, just like she was when I first found her.
IBN 5100を入れたのは右下のコインロッカーで合っているか?
You put the IBN 5100 in the bottom right locker, correct?
なぜ?
How?
IBN 5100が入る大きさのロッカーはあそこには3つしかなかった。そのうち一番下のみが使用中。
Out of all the lockers, only 3 could hold the IBN 5100. Out of those 3, only the bottom one was in use. And if you just, let me check my text for a second, Moeka. That's Daru. Found it. Checked. The big locker in the lower right is in use. What's this about anyway? Don't make me your errand boy so early in the morning, fool. And then a little angry emoji. Okay, so it's still there. That's good to know.
もしお前が一番下に入れたというなら FB はまだ IBN 5100を回収していないことになる。
If that's the one you used, then FB hasn't picked it up yet.
この意味がわかるか?
Do you know what that means? Moeka frowns.
あそこに貼っていれば FB が回収しに来た時に会えるということだ。
It means that if we stake out the locker, you'll get to meet FB.
その発想はなかったか? ラウンダーのくせに冷静さが欠けているぞ、お前。
It hadn't occurred to you? Some secret agent you are.
俺は張り込んでみようと思う。お前は?
I'm headed there now. You coming?
会ってどうするの?
What will you do if you meet her?
FB に携帯を借りる。
Borrow her phone? That's the best way to prevent Moeka from going to the Yanabayashi shrine.
会えない。会う勇気ない。幻滅される。
I can't meet her. I'm too afraid. The real me could never live up to her expectations.
お前はとっくに幻滅されているか？最初から期待すらされていなかった。
Something tells me her expectations were never that high to begin with. Moeka's face contorts again. I'm being blunt. Not only because Moeka is Mayuri's murderer, but also because Moeka's weakness is starting to get on my nerves. Just like Daru's mail said, the locker is still occupied when I get there. I look around to make sure there are no patrol cars. No crowbars this time. I don't feel like getting arrested. I head across the street to Daibaru and hide behind one of its humongous pillars and begin the stakeout. My legs are getting tired. I was going to borrow Mayuri's portable game console, but I decided I didn't need the distraction. Yeah, like, if you're staking out, you don't want to be in the middle of, I don't know, Mario and miss what's going on. Still, it's pretty tough to keep standing like this. I also need to stay inconspicuous. Someone might notice if they see me standing in the same place for hours. I wouldn't want a security guard to give me trouble. I mean, I guess there's not much worry about that. I've already been here for 7 hours without incident. My legs are numb, so I squat and lean against the pillar. So hungry. I'd love to go get some food, but I can't take my eyes off the locker. Just then, somebody taps me on the shoulder. FB? I try to leap to my feet, but my legs get tangled and I fall over. Moeka is standing there, looking down at me with those glassy eyes.
Oh my. なんでここに?
What are you doing here?
私も張り込みを。
I'll keep watch too.
ダメかな。
Is that okay?
なぜ心変わりした?
Why the change of heart? I stand up and dust off my clothes.
お前は FB とのメールだけの関係に居心地の良さを感じていた。その適度な距離感に依存していたはず。
You were comfortable with your male-only relationship, weren't you? I thought you wanted to maintain that distance.
なのになぜ今さら一歩を踏み出そうと思った?
So what made you decide to risk a meeting?
このままじゃ。
At this rate? Moeka puts her head on her knees. She looks ready to cry. I've seen that expression once before, in her moonlit apartment.
FB からの連絡がなくなったら、私、世界とのつながりが。
If I lose contact with FB, I'll lose my connection.
断絶されるか。
To the world? Moeka nods faintly.
孤独に耐えられないくらい弱いのに FB の命令さえあれば容赦なく人も殺せるとはな。
You can't bear to be alone yourself, yet you'd end an innocent girl's life because some person you've never met told you to.
典型的な狂信者だよお前は。
A cultist, that's what you are. And her cult leader, FB, abused her weakness before throwing her out like old clothes. It pisses me off. FB's cruelty, Moeka's weakness. I can't decide which I hate more. Then, Moeka nervously brings out a convenience store bag.
なんだこれは?
What's this? Instead of answering, Moeka looks away. I look inside.
おお、パックの牛乳とアンパン。
Whoa, milk and bean buns? Exactly what you need on a stakeout. There's enough for two.
もしかして差し入れか?
You brought this for me? Moeka nods.
よし、許可する。お前も張り込みを手伝え。
Very well. You may join the stakeout. Now we can take turns watching, and we'll also look less suspicious to passers-by. The night draws on, and still no sign of FB. I mean, if FB hasn't come to pick this thing up in at least a week, what are the chances FB comes that night? Like, there's no guarantee. We nap in 1 hour shifts, but it doesn't help the exhaustion. On top of that, I don't have anyone to talk to. Moeka can't keep a conversation going, so there's nothing I can do to stave off boredom. I went back to the lab to shower just before dawn, but Karisu, who was working an all-nighter on the time leap machine, just glared at me. The wait finally ends at just after 1 PM on the 13th. Ooh. Someone comes to open the lower right locker. We watch from behind the pillar. It's a nondescript middle-aged man. He's dressed in a new suit, but it hangs rather poorly on him, as if he's not used to wearing it.
あいつが FB か?
Is that FB? Moeka shakes her head firmly.
FB は女性よ。
FB is a woman. I mean, FB could have said they were a woman to get Moeka's confidence. Like, it doesn't... If they've never met in person and they have only texted, you know, everything Moeka knows about FB really needs to be taken with a grain of salt, because you can type whatever. Like, this person could have just said whatever they thought would get Moeka to be most dependent on them. FB is a woman.
となると雇われて回収しに来た人間かもしれない。
So maybe she hired someone to pick it up? Or it could be someone from the locker company here to clear it after weeks overdue. That would make us all idiots. Moeka, FB, and me. The man has the key to the locker. He pays the late fee with 100 yen coins, then removes the cardboard box with the IBN 5100 inside. The man thought ahead and brought a pushcart. He puts the IBN 5100 onto the pushcart with a bit of effort and begins walking away.
追うぞ。
Follow him. The man heads straight for Akihabara Station. Strangely enough, he walks up to an overweight man standing in front of the ticket machine. The overweight man is wearing a t-shirt and has all the signs of an otaku. He doesn't seem to have anything in common with the first guy, who looks like an average salaryman. They transfer the IBN 5100 into the overweight man's suitcase. After they exchange a few words, the overweight man enters the station alone. Then the guy in the suit leaves. Weird. What was the purpose of that transfer? Is the overweight man FB? Or is he just another link in some kind of chain? At any rate, if we keep following the IBN 5100, we should reach FB eventually. We enter the station. The overweight man boards the Yamanote line. We board on the next car and keep watch through the connecting door. It's a weekday afternoon, so there aren't many passengers. 30 minutes later, we arrive at Shinjuku Station. Here, the train sees a sharp increase in passenger traffic. He's getting off. Moeka pulls on my sleeve. The overweight man has slipped into the stream of departing passengers. He's about to exit onto the platform. We follow him, but due to our slow reaction, we have to push our way through the boarding passengers. The train doors close, and it slowly departs. The man starts walking towards the exit. Shinjuku is crowded, so we have to follow close behind or we'll lose him. But then I stop in my tracks. What? The man is empty-handed. His suitcase is missing. What? For a second I think we followed the wrong man, but no, it's definitely him. We watched him the whole time he was on the train. There's no doubt he had the suitcase when the train arrived in Shinjuku. Could he have passed it to someone else in this crowd? Clever. They know how to lose a tail. Oh, okay. We're going back. We're trying again. But we're going to try again next time. So, they're on the trail of FB. Whoever FB is, man, woman, we don't know. And we're going to hopefully find that out soon. I doubt he'll manage to get his hands on the IBN 5100, as he said. Fate does not want him to get it on any of these world lines. So hopefully he'll find FB, send a text, and it'll all change. I have no clue who FB could be. I feel like in this game it's either going to be someone completely new who we've never met before, or it's going to be someone we already know, and it's going to be a bit of a twist, like, it was this person all along. They've been working for CERN this whole time. Those are really the only two options. It's someone we don't know or someone we do, so hopefully we will find out when we pick this up next time. So thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you then.